All right. So I picked this guy up yesterday. We'll get a look at him. Or her. I haven't decided yet. I know typically it's supposed to be a her. But this is a 2017 Africa Twin. So it's the 1000cc or 998. Not the new 1100. I got this guy because I was wanting a more touring adventure bike type, being 6'5", that I could fit more comfortably on. My XSR 900, while is a blast ride, it is not a blast ride after about 40 minutes because I'm too big for it. So the reason I got this guy and not a Tenere 700, which is what I set out for initially, is because you can't get a new Tenere 700 for like under $13,000 out the door. And for a $10,000 bike, I just have a hard time with that. This guy is basically new. It was actually a dealership owner's bike, and he had, I think, 400 miles on it when I picked this thing up. Obviously, he immediately put some TKC 80s on it, which is probably a little bit too much for me, but I'll wear out the rear tire and then swap them out for something a little bit more road-oriented. But yeah, 400 miles. And this one cost me right at 13 out the door. So for that, I get a bigger bike, a little bit more power, a little bit more touring capability, which is what I'm looking for. And plus, I mean, it looks awesome. I mean, look at that. It is like pristine. It did come with this guy on it, this MRA windscreen, which is basically just a way to ramp air directly into my helmet. So I will be taking this guy off. You can see Florida has already welcomed it. But yeah, I got it yesterday. I have put about 20 miles on it. And I am on, I decided just to pull over and we'll kind of see how this goes. So I'm going to first off apologize for the quality of video. This is all coming off of a like Sena 10C. The original one was a video and audio Bluetooth headset. So it's going to be really poor quality, but I hope this kind of just gives some idea of what it's like to be 6'5" on one of these guys. So first thing I'm going to say is I fit on this thing so much better than any motorcycle I have ever been on. I did get the manual version. I understand the DCT model has its place. That place is just not in my garage. But yeah, so we fit much better on this. Very comfortable. The sound on this thing is actually pretty nice. I am still getting used to, shifting points and everything on this. I haven't had a parallel twin in a year. But man, this thing is nice. I really like it. Having a 21-inch front wheel is definitely an adjustment coming off of a 17 sport bike. But yeah, this thing is awesome. I unfortunately, I've already got crash bars for this thing because I do plan to take it off-road. Just kind of do some fire roads and light trails. I haven't put them on yet. This thing has a tank of old gas in it. Being in 2017 and it is 2022, I don't know if that gas was put in there in 2017. But the story behind this bike is that the dealership owner bought this bike, put TKC 80s on it, was planning on fitting it out to do, some more heavy off-road stuff, and then on a different bike, according to the salesman, blew out his knees. So that's how this thing has now 441 miles on it, and it is a couple years old. So I'm gonna try to get at least most of this tank of gas out, put some some fuel system cleaner in there, and then take it in for its first service right about 600. I have always been told, despite being able to do your own maintenance, that it's a better idea to let the dealership do the first service. That's what their job is. And then I'll be fitting the crash bars Yeah, definitely replacing this horrible windscreen. Why you would ever put a windscreen on a bike that is black, I do not know. It is, you literally can't see anything. It's just a view obstruction, which is really dumb. But anyways, I'm gonna stop complaining. Because aside from that, the rest of this bike is phenomenal. I really, really like it. Yeah, coming off that XSR 900 at 6'5", I'm used to being super cramped. On this thing, I sit towards the back of the seat, but I mean, I'm upright. My arms are stretched out in front of me. They're not too low. I probably will end up putting bar risers on this thing in, maybe the distant future. I don't think I need to do it right away. But yeah, I mean, I sit on this thing very comfy. And yes, I know I am not wearing motorcycle pants and boots. I actually wasn't planning on taking it out this morning, but it was calling my name, so I just hopped on while the wife is sleeping. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This is what this bike is meant to do, at least for my purposes. We just got this open road. There's no one behind me. It is probably a little bit after 8 a.m. here in the east coast of Florida. But yeah, it is beautiful out here. And I'm on a beautiful machine. But yeah, so anyways, I'm getting myself off topic here. I realize there's not a whole lot of content out there for bigger dudes and how they fit on bikes. I was talking to someone in one of my YouTube posts earlier in the week that he was also looking into an XSR 900, and he was a bigger dude. And I understand it's kind of frustrating because in this day and age, a lot of dealerships, for whatever reason, don't have one model of each bike. They usually just you want something, you go in, you order it. But the problem is, like, if you're a bigger guy like me, you don't know you're gonna fit on it. I ended up buying as my first bike a Honda CB500F. Pretty dull and boring bike, but it was good as a learner and as a commuter. I mean, it got like 70 miles a gallon, and it didn't have so much power that I was like afraid of it. But I ended up getting that one, not sitting on one, but just kind of doing some research online, sitting on it and be like, oh my gosh, this thing is so small. But as a bigger dude, beginner bikes, it's kind of a hard one, because you're gonna find something where the power might be appropriate, but the size is probably not. So I mean, to each their own. Let's see, what are you doing over there, bird? But yeah, so my first impression sitting on one of these bikes, I did sit on a couple of these before I purchased this one. In the middle of doing my research, I also sat on a Tenere 700, which I really liked. Definitely like thinner and maybe like 9/10 the size of this, maybe 8/10. So that was one of my deciding factors. Although I love the Tenere 700, that engine, I hear nothing but good things about it. And coming out of a Yamaha, I was really looking more towards getting another Yamaha because I frankly think they're awesome. But yeah, I did a lot of research on that one, on this one, and sitting down on this, I immediately was like, oh yeah, I made the right choice. This thing is just great. The seat is actually super comfortable. I had to get a Corbin seat for the XSR, and even still, that seat, it's nothing wrong with the seat, it's just that I'm just too big for that bike, and as much as I want to make it work, that's not going to happen. So for a stock seat, this thing is, oh man, it is so great. I can definitely see myself doing a long haul on it.